Hi everybody, I'm sitting here in gorgeous Scottsdale, Arizona with two very close friends of mine from down under. We've got Donna and Tora here. They are weight control experts and fitness experts, and they're here to talk to us about ways that we can, well, I'm not going to steal their thunder. Let's hear it from you.
Great. So what we do is we really support women to get in control of their weight, and not just women, men as well, of course. And we do that through understanding your mindset, motivation, and metabolism, what we actually call your 3 BMI formula.
Right.
You see, we created the 3 BMI formula because I used to be over 70 pounds heavier than I am today.
That's incredible.
And unfortunately, it took me a long time of yo-yo dieting, etc. And I've got to say, you know, I was quite devastated over a period of 7 years of trying to shed my weight and not being able to move it. You know, I went through a bout of depression, and I was actually quite devastated at how I just couldn't shift it, and I felt like I'd really let myself go. But it wasn't until I discovered this whole idea of mindset, motivation, and metabolism that really things started to shift. And that's how I can be here today and actually understand what really drives us to actually be able to be in control of your weight.
Yeah, that's amazing.
However, my story is a little different to Tora's story, and this is why we actually joined forces, because we've seen both ends of the weight loss spectrum and how that impacts on our self-confidence. So do you want to share this?
So my journey started at the other end of the spectrum, because I started as a diet just to lose a few pounds, got completely out of hand, and I ended up with anorexia nervosa, an eating disorder. And I got down to 88 pounds, so I lost 45 pounds lighter than I am today.
Wow!
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And really, food was my obsession. I was obsessed with food 24 hours a day. I woke up thinking about food, and I went to bed thinking about food. And the bathroom scales was like my focus. And I always thought that once I got to this specific weight, then I would feel good and I would feel happy in myself. And I never got there. I never actually reached that weight that I was trying to get to, because I never actually felt the way I thought I would feel when I got to a certain weight. And it really got to the point when I had to make a decision between being hospitalised because I was so underweight, or taking charge of my life and doing it myself. And I took that option because I knew that I needed to take control back of my weight and my life, and start that journey back towards health in all ways.
That's great. That's great. Thank you. You know, because that's what this whole conversation is really about, is taking charge of your life and feeling good about not just your whole life, but who you are, and not just your appearance as you look in the mirror, but feeling really good. I think I heard both of you say yesterday, feeling good in your own skin. If you could just elaborate on that a little bit, and then maybe give us some tips. I think we all know what to do. The problem is we don't necessarily implement it every day. So I'd love to hear a little bit about your tricks on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, for myself, what I recognise is that the difference is about feeling, really, ultimately, I wanted to feel confident in my own skin.
Right.
And we find with our clients, they want to feel comfortable. You know, they really want to feel good about themselves. And, you know, I believe that we all want to demonstrate and be our best.
Yes.
I mean, that's truly my belief. And unfortunately, because of so many crazy things that are going on out there in the weight loss industry, and the confusion around diets and exercise and that focus, is that we've really lost our way about how do we find that confidence. And really what we know is, as I say, it's quite an inner game. It's not just about the outside. And so so that's what we focus on, is, you know, it's not just about the weight that you lose, it's also about how do you find the motivation to really, you know, to be yourself, to be your best self. And a lot of that has to do with your mindset.
Absolutely.
And this is what the two of us found, that whether you're really overweight or really underweight, those 3 areas actually create your confidence, you know, and the action creates confidence. And sometimes we just don't even know how to get started and get going. And so that actually makes us feel less confident and less motivated. And then we don't feel like we're really being our best selves.
So what are some tips that we can learn just right now today on how to get started and stay motivated?
Well, I mean, many of us often can feel overwhelmed because, you know, we all have busy lives.
Yes.
kids and husbands and maybe working or whatever's going on, you know, sometimes the whole idea of adding yet one more thing can just feel even more overwhelming.
Right.
And I know myself, when I started the journey back to health, I had to make it baby steps because it just felt too overwhelming, the idea of having to put all this weight back on again, which I've tried so hard to lose in a very unhealthy way. So what we always say is you have to make them really small steps. So one of the things, and see, most people think they don't know what to do, and in fact most people have an idea of what to do.
Yes.
So we could ask you, what's one thing that you could do to help make you feel healthier?
Right.
Is there anything that you could?
Well, I've developed some very healthy eating habits over the years, but I did exactly what you said in taking baby steps. I didn't just try to change everything in one day or 1 week or even 1 year. I did it over time. But there is something that I know I don't do on a consistent basis at all, and that is drinking a lot of water. And I read recently that as you get older, it starts in about your 30s and 40s and just gets worse from there, that you actually lose your sense of thirst. Your body doesn't give you that signal as much as it used to. So I get to the end of the day typically and I'll realize, I think I had about half a glass of water today.
Yeah.
That's not really helping my body. And I know it's not just good for my body to drink water, but it's good for my skin and my hair. And so what should I do?
So that would be one. So that's exactly what we'd say. So you'd pick one thing, and it might sound, well, that's all I'm doing is water. Well, yeah, that's the one thing that you want to focus on. So you would focus then on, we would say, focus on drinking water for the next 60 days.
60 days.
60 days.
Wow.
Because that really beds it in. And then the other thing that we say is we're not very good at acknowledging our successes. We're always beating ourselves up about every little thing we do badly.
Yes.
So you really acknowledge yourself for drinking water. So if you're trying to drink 8 glasses of water a day or whatever that one is, then acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Acknowledge that you've done it well. Give yourself a pat on the back. Say, great. And even if you did 6 glasses, you still say, well, I did 6 glasses. That's better than half a glass.
Rather than saying, oh, I didn't do what I was supposed to do.
Yeah, and give up.
Okay.
Another thing I can't do right. Yeah. So
yes,
really,
we do that so much, especially we women. We tend to beat ourselves up and look at our negatives more than our positives.
Absolutely. And so that's how we came up with the upgrade diet. So it doesn't matter where you are in your health. There's always a better way. Like, we're still upgrading. We often will have a look at, so where's my diet right now? And what's one thing I can do differently for the next 60 days? And the reason why it's 60 days is because, as Tora said, you really want to embed it.
Yes.
And my background in behavioural change is that often people bite off far too much and they say, I'm going to do this, this and this, and they end up doing nothing. Or they do, like, I'm going to drink 1 glass of water is the other way, which is also demotivating because it's not big enough and it's not effective enough. But if you just choose one thing that you know deep down, and we ask our clients all the time, what's that one thing? And everybody always knows, you know, you have that inner knowing. And what that does is taking the action increases your self-esteem. And your self-esteem increases your confidence. And the whole idea of this is the more confidence you have in yourself, the more robust your self-esteem is. The more robust your self-esteem is, the more action you take.
That's true.
And it becomes this cycle, and so hence, slowly but surely, you start to increase your health. And that's the whole idea of the healthier you feel, the more action you want to take, the more happier you are. Because your health and your happiness are intertwined. And so really that's our message for people, is that, you know, just choose one thing and do it consistently. Now, Tora's the queen of consistency, and do it consistently. And once you've done it consistently, it becomes a habit. It becomes as like you've done it always. And so that's it. All you're doing is changing your behaviors into real habits that you want.
So what do I do if I get to the end of the day and I realize, oh, darn, I forgot. I only drank 2 glasses of water today. I kind of got off the habit of drinking throughout the day. What then?
Well, so what you don't want to do is then scull down 6 glasses of water. So you just, you think, okay, I didn't do it, but I got 2 glasses in. And you're acknowledging the positive, because we're trying to reinforce the positive thing you've done. And then tomorrow you focus on a little bit more. Don't just think, oh well, never mind, forget it.
Throw in the towel.
Just do it the next day. And you keep trying to build it and build it and build it.
You've given us so much takeaway for today. What would you say is in addition to the small steps, is there one thing that it would help us to remember on a day-to-day basis to help our self-confidence and our weight in our bodies?
As well as acknowledging successes, because I think that's something that we all should do. Another thing, which is one small thing, is to make agreements that you can keep.
Yes.
So don't make these promises to yourself that are just too big and that you let yourself down, then you feel bad, and then that again decreases your confidence. So even if they feel smaller than you think you can manage, make small agreements that stick to them. So if you know you can't drink 8 glasses of water a day because you're only drinking half a glass, commit to 4 glasses.
Oh, good idea.
Rather than say, I'm going to do 8 and keep breaking the promise.
Right. So I'm sort of making this agreement as I'm making this pact with myself, and think of myself as a friend who's supporting me rather than the policeman who's policing me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Definitely take that whip out of your hand. You know, when I was carrying a lot of weight, I was constantly beating myself up.
Right.
And you beat yourself up, of course you're not motivated, you're not feeling confident, because now you're beating yourself up.
Right. Yeah.
And so, as you said, you know, so that's not very useful. So one of the things also for me, I find is being grateful. I do my gratitudes. I do 5 gratitudes in the morning.
Yes, I do too.
And what that does is it just starts to increase your self-esteem as well. And it helps take that whip out of your hand.
Good idea.
So those are probably a couple of tips now that we've thrown in there. You know, because it really is. It's about really nurturing and supporting yourself. You're doing the best that you can in this given moment. You know, and it's about how do you support yourself to do even better tomorrow. And that's what it's all about. Well,
you two are amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I have to admit to everybody out there, we were just out of the pool. You should see these two. They rock the bikini. They've got 6-packs like you wouldn't believe. So down the road, I'm going to give you more information about them, where you can go and learn way more weight loss tips and fitness tips, and their advice is spot on, and there's so much more to come. So I just wanted to give you a little taste of all their amazing wisdom. That's it for today. Thank you.